Okay, so I know the last video sort of stopped abruptly. I actually had a problem where my microphone turned off and I didn't know it. But it was already kind of a long video, so I decided to just start back here and kind of review what we just covered and then pick up where we left off. So that is a little overview. What we just finished was an overview of hybridization. So what we learned is if there are we can figure out what hybridization is by counting the number of electron domains. So this includes lone pairs and sigma bonds, but not double bonds. Double bonds, we don't count the pi bond, just the sigma bond there. We're not counting them twice. So a double bond is one electron domain because it has one sigma bond. If there's 4 domains, it's sp3 hybridized. If there's 3, it's sp2. And if there's just 2 domains, it's sp hybridized. Now, I want to go ahead and pick up here, and I do think that this is gonna get a little heavy, and maybe it already felt heavy, or maybe you felt like this was a little bit of a review, but organic chemistry is really all about um, visualizing molecules and trying to figure out how they interact. So even if it's hard, I want you to try to visualize the shapes of molecules as we go through the rest of this chapter and the future chapters to kind of gain a deeper understanding of what's going on and why things might be acting the way they are. And I'm going to have you try to connect that with VSEPR theory and hybridization, and I will review VSEPR theory just right here in just a minute. But if you're a little confused, I just want to say that's okay. You're just practicing, you're trying to get used to visualizing molecules in a different way. This probably isn't something you've done a ton before, but we are going to do that together. So, a review of VSEPR theory. I actually think it's easier to do this over on the document camera. So I'm going to switch over to the document camera, and we can do this together. Sorry, my mic's a little messed up. Maybe that'll be better. Okay. So actually, before we do it together, I think you should pause the video right now and just take a minute and see what you can come up with on your own. So try to see what you remember about VSEPR theory. So you can do it now, pause the video. Hopefully you've done that. Okay, so hopefully what you remember about VSEPR theory, we're going to focus starting with 4 electron domains and down. 4 electron domains is what it's sort of the highest that we'll use most often in organic chemistry. We very rarely will talk about anything more than 4 electron domains. So that makes it easier. You don't have to remember all the way up to 6 like you did in Gen Chem. But for OChem, we're going to really talk about 4 electron domains and down. And so hopefully you remember, if you have 4 electron domains, the way that VSEPR theory states, it's not arranged in space where there are these 90-degree angles between them, like I have drawn here, where it's just sort of like a T shape where there's 90-degree angles. That's our instinct, is for it to look like that. But in reality, what we have is a tetrahedral arrangement. And so I've actually put together, this is called a ball and stick module, a ball and stick model of an organic molecule. And you can see that if everything was laid flat in a square, you would get 90 degrees between them. But here we have longer angles than 90 degrees. This is about 109.5 between them. And so if you have 4 electron domains, these big clouds of electrons are going to try to repel each other, and they're going to push each other as far away as possible. And so the best way to push one another away is to get to 109.5. So that's if we have 4 electron domains. Now, if we have 4 electron domains and one of them is a lone pair, hopefully you remember that gives us this trigonal pyramidal shape. And if 2 of them are lone pairs, it gives us a bent shape. Because there is still a cloud of electrons here and here, they're just not actually bonds. So I'm going to put that into a chart. We're going to say the number of actually I'll do it lowercase, number of electron domains, the shape it takes, and let's also do the hybridization. Okay, so the one I just drew for you has 4 electron domains. one, two, three, four electron domains. Its shape is tetrahedral, and its hybridization is sp3 hybridized. Now, if we take one of those away, it's still, and replace it with a lone pair. A lot of times in a modeling kit, that's represented like this. Like, okay, the electrons are still there, but they're not a part of a bond. You can see the shape of that is trigonal parameter. So if we have 4 and 1 is a lone pair, that is trigonal pyramidal, or pyramidal is how I kind of remember it. Pyramidal. And then I want you to ask yourself, what do you think is the hybridization of this? If we were doing this in class, I would have my students raise their hand and answer, but hopefully you can say it out loud. This is still sp3 hybridized. So you might have thought like, oh, now it only has 3 electron domains, but remember we've just replaced this with a lone pair instead of a bond. So and we count lone pairs in hybridization. So 1, 2, 3, 4, still sp3 hybridized. If we have 4 electron domains and we have 2 lone pairs, this one that's like this is water, except it has an oxygen with 2 lone pairs and 2 bonds. You can see the shape of it. You still have these 2 lone pairs here and here, but only 2 bonds, so this shape is bent. And it's sp3 hybridized still because you still have 1, 2, 3, 4 4 electron domains. Okay, so now if we only have, let's do it with only 3 electron domains. So if we have 3 electron domains, it looks like this. It's shaped sort of like a triangle or like a peace sign. All 3 of these are equally spread out, but it's flat. So there's not like anything coming out one direction or the other, unlike the tetrahedral. It's kind of a flat arrangement. And you'll notice this is a double bond right here, right? So there's 2 points of connection, but we're only counting it as 1 electron domain because we're only looking at sigma bonds or lone pairs. So if you have 3 electron domains, this is what we call trigonal planar. So instead of being 3 in a pyramid, which is what we had for trigonal pyramidal, it's just trigonal planar. And I would say tetrahedral and trigonal planar are the ones we see most often with organic molecules. And the hybridization on this, there's 3 electron domains, so it's sp2 hybridized. Now, if you replace one of these with a lone pair, hopefully you can see, my lone pair ran away. I don't use these very often, so they don't go in very well. Hopefully you can see this looks like a bent shape where this top one is still there, still a lone pair, but it's invisible because it's just a cloud of electrons. So 3 with 1 lone pair is bent. And something I didn't write, which I guess I could have, is if you have, you know, all of your electron domains are lone pairs except for 1. So like with tetrahedral, if you have 3 lone pairs, or with this one, if you had 2 lone pairs, it's always linear because it's basically just a bond between these 2. But that doesn't come up very often. Okay, and then the last kind is, oh, and that is still, even it's bent, it would still be sp2 hybridized. And then the last kind, if we have 2 electron domains, just like we have here, here's an atom that has 1 sigma bond over here. It has 2 pi bonds, but we don't count them. So all this just counts as 1 electron domain. And this counts as 1 electron domain. This is going to be linear. I almost wrote bent. Linear, and that is still sp hybridized because 2 electron domains is sp hybridized. So that's a little bit of both a review on how to find hybridization, or sorry, a review of electron domains shapes with their hybridizations. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint here. So we just did this review together, what we remember about the shapes of molecules, focusing on 4 electrons or less. And I left space for you here if you like to do this in the PowerPoint, or you can follow along on your own notes. Oh no, these are kind of blurry images. I'm sorry, I'll fix those before I upload these PowerPoints. But what is the hybridization of the carbon atoms in the molecules shown? So when we ask what's the shape of the carbon atoms, and we're asking what is the hybrid, sorry, I don't know where my brain went. These slides with the little image of the person raising their hand that are titled practice problem breaks are slides where I want you to take the chance to actually practice these yourself. And I've said before that I try to do a lot of my teaching in line with education research, and research shows that the more you try to do things without an answer first, the better you're going to be. So if you can try your best to do this on your own, you're going to be better off when it comes to your homework. And these, sometimes my students say like, oh, the questions we do in class are a little bit easier than the homework. That's intentional because it's your first time seeing the material. And then when you get to see it more in your homework and stuff like that, I want you to practice it more. Practice sort of different, maybe more challenging questions with more practice problems. But this is your first time seeing it. And so every time we have this practice problem break, I truly want you to pause and try to answer these questions completely on your own. Okay, so the first question is, what is the hybridization of the carbon atoms in the molecules shown? So we're only looking at the carbon atoms. And then what is the shape around the carbon atoms in the molecule shown? So I want you to pause the video right now and do that on your own. And then I will work it out together. Okay. So the 2 atoms we have here, hopefully you've already tried this on your own, is carbon dioxide, the carbon with 2 oxygens on it. I know it was like kind of blurry in the PowerPoint image. And then carbon with 4 hydrogens around it. So I am going to show you the shape of these molecules, but if you, I guess we can go ahead and do it just where you count the electron domains first. So if I'm looking at the atom on the left, this carbon dioxide, I'm looking for sigma bonds or lone pairs. That's it. We're not looking for anything else, just sigma bonds and lone pairs. So here I see a sigma bond. I put a square around it, a pink square around it. And here I see another sigma bond. I put a pink square around it. There's no lone pairs. And the other bonds, this one that on top is a pi bond. So I'm labeling that in green, that's a pi bond. So if we only have 2 sigma bonds around this carbon and no lone pairs, 2 sigma bonds is 2 electron domains. And so that means it must need 2 orbitals. So we always start with an S and then we take as many P's as we need. So that would be sp hybridized. So that carbon is sp hybridized. And now I made this little chart on the last one, and this is something you can do on your homework is you can flip back and look at your notes. If something is linear, or sorry, if something has 2 electron domains, it's sp hybridized, that is linear. So I know that this is sp hybridized, and I also know that it would be considered linear, just looking only at the carbon atom. So now I can build these molecules out for you. So we have, usually carbon is represented in black and oxygen is represented in red. So I'm trying to build the molecule for you real quick here. So here we have a carbon with 2 double bonds on either side. So we only have 2 electron domains, a sigma bond and a sigma bond. The others are pi bonds. And you can see that the shape of this molecule is linear. These 3 atoms are in a straight line. So that's linear. Now, if we were just looking at the oxygens, they have 1 sigma bond each. And then they also have each a lone pair here and here. So that would be 1 sigma bond, 2 lone pairs, 1, 2, 3. So that must mean it needs 3 hybridizations, and that's sp2 hybridized. But it's linear because Two of them are lone pair and it only has one sigma bond. That's kind of going a little more advanced than the question asked, but in case you were curious. Okay, and then the next question is this carbon surrounded by 4 hydrogens. So I see 4 sigma bonds. I'll outline each one in pink. 1, 2, 3, 4. So these 4 sigma bonds, so we always start with S, and then we need 3 other things to get to 1, 2, 3, 4 areas of electron domain. So this is sp3 hybridized. Okay, so I'll stop this video here, and then we will dive into the next topic, going back to our PowerPoint slides.